Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, and before that it's kind of been the watch show recently. But yesterday I got back from Atlanta. I was down there at Bladeshow 2018, and I bought a couple of knives. And this channel is sort of formed on knives. Like that's sort of how I got my start. I got my start in guns, but then I moved on to custom knives pretty quickly. And I figured that I would go over the knives that I bought down in Bladeshow. One of the things that was really cool about Blade this year, I didn't go last year, and the year before that I just drove down on Saturday for the day. This year I drove down Friday afternoon and then stayed overnight and did all of Saturday and did the whole thing. And it was really cool. And one of the things that it really solidified for me was I had kind of felt like I was sort of done with buying knives and being part of that whole world, and being at Blade and seeing all my friends and kind of walking through the tables and whatnot showed me how much that is not the case anymore. Or never was the case, not anymore. I'm still very much into knives. Those people are still very much my friends, and I had a really good time. So it was good. If you guys ever get a chance to go, definitely go. It's worth the trip. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the knives for a minute here. I didn't go down there expecting to get anything. I had a little bit of money. I didn't have a ton of money, but I had a little bit of money, just enough to pick up a couple of things that I thought I would really like. And that was kind of what I wanted to do. In the past, when I've gone to Bladeshow, I typically don't keep the stuff that I've bought. I'll buy a right-handed, as you guys know, I'm left-handed, and I'll buy a right-handed knife or something like that, and those just are not things that I keep. So this year I was really focused on picking things up that I knew that I liked and that I knew that I wanted, and that would fit into my collection well. If you follow me on Instagram, you've kind of seen the same 4 or 5 knives rotate for a long time. I haven't gotten anything new in a while, so it was nice to get a rather large injection of some new cool stuff. So let's start here. So this is the John Demco 8015 MG. This is kind of his mid-techish folder. He makes custom versions of these with the Scorpion lock, but the MG stands for machine ground. So the knife is built by hand otherwise, but the blade itself is ground by machine. Now at Bladeshow, John went back and he hand satined all of these machine ground blades. So I was really curious about this Scorpion lock. It was something that I wanted to experience, and these knives are ambidextrous, which was nice, and I'm a big fan of these knives. It's big for me. It's a really big knife for me, but I'm happy with it. It's smooth, it's solid, and it's a lot of fun to just kind of play with and have. So I was happy about that. He had a few of these left on Saturday, so this was the second knife that I picked up, and I feel like it was worth it. Nice to meet him, nice to get it directly from him, and all in all, a cool knife. You can buy them straight off of his website too. He typically has some available. So if you look up Demco knives, you can pick one up. I think they're cool. Definitely a good like workhorse blade. S35 VN steel, natural micarta handles that are already darker than when I bought them just from being handled, and then titanium Scorpion lock. And if you don't know how the Scorpion lock works, there's a spring back in here, and this lifts up kind of like a lockback folder. So you can see that the pin is sitting on this sloped area of the blade. So when you open it up, that lifts up, travels around the blade itself, and then clicks down into that groove. And the lock is extremely solid. And then to close it, you just pinch that up, push the blade over. Pretty cool. Takes a little bit of fiddling to get used to, but then once you sort of get it in, it's really nice. So yeah. Anyway, big impressions with these. Liked this a lot. Next up, this was the first knife that I bought. I actually bought this before I got there. This is a JG Customs or Jason Guthrie Scout M390 hand rub blade, carbon fiber scales, titanium lock side here. You can see some staining on the stop pin. This I bought actually out of Jason's pocket directly. This was his personal knife. So I got it at a really good deal. He's become a bit of a buddy of mine, so he reached out to me before I'd even got there and offered me this. And he gave me some instructions on how to clean that up myself. So I have no problem taking this apart and doing that. And I've had one of these before, and I'm really glad to get it back into the collection. He makes such a good knife. He incorporates the GTI, or the Guthrie tungsten insert, into the lock bar. So the lock bar itself, I don't know I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. There is a tungsten insert into the lock bar here, and that is what interfaces with the blade. So any lock wear is actually on the blade side, and once it sets, like once it's done wearing, it'll stay. These don't suffer from really lock wear in or anything like that. So once the lock up is solid, it stays there. So if you get a chance to get a knife from Guthrie, I highly recommend it. I think these are incredible EDC knives. Great steel, super thin, hollow grind, or no, I'm sorry, not hollow grind, super thin. Let me see if I can get my camera to focus on that. Yeah, super thin, flat grind M390 blade. Quality, really quality. There's some cool stuff coming out of South Africa right now, and Guthrie is one of the big ones. So keep an eye out for those. Highly recommend them. And then last, but certainly not least, this was my unexpected score. I thought I was done. I had spent all my money, and I walked past Chris Reeve, and I had heard that they were going to have these, but it wasn't until I saw one that I knew that I needed one. This is a small Sebenza 21 with koa wood inlay. And the koa wood was a Blade 2018 special. They made 25 larges, 25 smalls, and 25 Menandis. 5 of each were lefty. And after Blade, they're not making any more of them. So it's very limited. It's very cool. I love koa wood. And I have been wanting a small Sebenza for a while now. So I had to pick it up. And I was talking to Tim a little bit, and they actually sourced this wood from Taylor Guitar. It was a piece of koa that was cut incorrectly for their guitars, and Chris Reeve was able to source it from Taylor, and they made knives out of it. Really beautiful. They had some with Damascus. The Menandis were nice with that big wood inlay on there, but I really, really like a small 21. Such a classic knife, and such a great carry knife in general. I really couldn't be happier with this. So anyway, I just figured that I would show you my Blade 2018 scores. They're all really, really cool. I'm happy with them, and I'm glad I got a chance to go. So if you guys have any questions about Bladeshow, or you're going to be there next year or anything like that, just drop a comment down below and let me know, and maybe we can meet up, or I'll try and answer your questions about the show as best as I can. I've been a bunch of times. I just haven't been last year, and I was only there for a day the year prior to that, but I've probably been like 6 or 7 times at this point. So I've got a pretty good idea of how the show flows, so I can fill you in on anything you don't know. So anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I'm glad to be kind of back with some knives again, and I'll make some more videos about it. I think I'd probably do for an EDC update and all that good stuff. So hope everyone's well, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.